Hey everyone, welcome back to Ragtag Stacking. In today's video, I want to talk a little bit about trading silver in for gold. Now, when I was thinking about doing this video and I looked at what the ratio was, and I saw that it was just a bit over 76. So I was thinking about the silver that I wanted to put on display, and I thought that would be perfect to put the 500 gram germanium mint bar down, because that's 16 ounces. So that would equal the touch over 16 ounces. So that would equal nicely the touch over 76. But by the time I did recording here, it's now a touch over 77. So I'm just going to put another maple leaf down there to represent the current gold silver ratio there at right around that 77-to-1 mark. For me, I am looking to do a trade, and the number that I have in my head for the longest time is 60-to-1. That's the number that I'm looking for the ratio to get to, and then I'll pull a trigger and trade in some silver for gold. And I'm specifically just talking about trading in some silver for gold, but obviously it can go the other way as well. You can trade in some of your silver for gold. For me, I'm not sure if I'd ever trade in gold for silver. I have talked with some people that play the ratio both ways, and they have traded some silver in for gold. But for me, I'm just looking for just doing it the one way. I'm looking, and once it gets to a certain price, just to offload some silver. And so yes, like I said, 60-to-1 is the number I'm looking at. But when you're talking about doing a trade-in for playing the gold-silver ratio, there's a few things that are a little bit misleading with that. One is the number itself, 60-to-1, and the other is the trade part of it, because it is not a trade. If you go into your LCS and you're looking to trade some silver for gold, you're not just going to be swapping 60 ounces of silver and getting 1 ounce of gold in return. You're going to have two different transactions. So it's not a trade. You're selling something and then you're purchasing something. So, you give your gold, he gives you whatever the cash value is, then you take that cash and you put it towards the purchase of a coin, a gold coin. So doing a GSR trade, like I said, is something that kind of just rolls off the tongue. It's something that you hear in videos in the community, but the trade part of it is a little bit misleading because it's two separate transactions of a sale and a buy. And once you consider that, that's where you realize that the 60-to-1 is kind of a meaningless number, because that's based on spot price. And since we now know that there are two transactions that are taking place, the transactions, they have the premiums tacked onto it. So yeah, 60-to-1, go off of that. Let's just say you're bringing in 60 American Silver Eagles. Are you going to be looking to get spot price for those? I don't think so. You're going to be expecting quite a bit of premium tacked on top. Maybe five, depending on if you're really good buddies with the guy, you might get a good deal. But you're going to be looking at $5, $6, maybe $7 over spot. Maybe I'm being a little optimistic with that higher end. But we're seeing what the premiums are now for the online bullion. Some of them are $14 premium on some of these Eagles. So you're going to be looking to get some premium on top of your coins. And let's just say you're picking up a generic gold Valcambi bar or something like that, something that doesn't carry as high a premium as, say, a gold eagle. Well, then that ratio isn't really going to be 60-to-1. It might be a little bit closer to like that, maybe 55-to-1 or 50, depending on how much you can get, how much premium tacked on to your Silver Eagles when you sell them. And say you're getting a relatively low premium gold coin, that 60-to-1 will be shifted downward. And of course it works in the other direction as well. Say you just bring in a couple of generic 10-ounce bars, or if you bring in some junk silver. Junk silver premiums have been increasing quite a bit lately, but historically junk silver, constitutional silver, has been that lower premium choice. That's why a lot of people like to get it. It has that historical thing to it as well, good for prepping. But a large percentage of stackers buy it because it was the cheapest silver you can get your hands on. So if you were to bring in the the 60 ounces of the junk silver, whatever premiums are tacked onto it, you get that in cash, and then you're saying, okay, now I want to buy a 1 ounce reverse proof Libertad. You're not going to be getting it for what you traded in. That it's not going to be a one-for-one trade. You get the cash for the junk silver, and that's enough to cover that Libertad. The premiums on that Libertad is probably going to push the ratio, once you factor in all the money, well over 70, maybe even closer to 80. There are some very, very high premium silver coins. So, you have to factor that in too, because, as I said, the trade, you might have it in your head that you're just trading silver for gold straight up. That's not what's happening. At least at the LCS. Obviously at the LCS, everything has to be on the up and up, has to be, on the books. They're going to want, records of it. And the guy just isn't just going to be swapping silver for gold. But, if it's peer-to-peer and you're talking with somebody on Instagram and you're looking to make the trade, then, there's no need to be adding in, money. You can just trade the silver for the gold. But of course, if the ratio is at 60-1, if you have those eagles, you're going to be saying, okay, these carry a higher premium. I know the ratio is 60-1, but can I give you 50 American eagles for this low premium gold coin? Then you can negotiate from there. But you're not going to be just doing the straight up 60-1, even if you're doing it privately. That number is going to have to fluctuate because you're going to be expecting a little bit. You're going to be expecting to sell your silver, at a little bit higher than spot price. So that's why for me, whenever I'm thinking about making the trade, it might get to a point where 65-1 is enough to, once I factor in all the premiums and, selling it and buying it, it will equal 60-1 once everything is said and done. So I do have to figure out exactly what silver I do want to trade in and what exactly I can get for it for the final, amount to reach that 60-1. And I do know that a lot of people use the GSR as a guide to what metal that they're buying. They use the, if it's 60-1 or below, they just up gold. If it's if it's in between 60 and 80-1, then they will pick up both. But if the ratio is at 80 and above, then they'll just be picking up silver. So they're not looking at using the GSR as the trade. They're using those numbers to determine which silver or gold, which one of the precious metals they'll be picking up. So yes, for some people, they're not using the gold-silver ratio to trade one metal for the other, but they're using it as a guide as to what metal they're going to be pick up at any certain time. But yeah, like I said, I'd like to hear from you guys in the comments if you have done a trade in the past, or if you're looking to do one in the future. And I'd also like to hear what that number is in your mind that you would like the ratio to reach before you go ahead and do that transaction. But anyways, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you come back for the next one. Thank you.